Hi, Namaste, and happy Ram Navami. Today is a special day where we are going to celebrate a function of birth of Bhagavan Ram, and it is been celebrated all across the world with various rituals, with various kind of energy and eagerness and vigor. But today, we are going to celebrate it in a special way that we are going to learn management lessons from the life of Bhagavan Ram, and that too from his own narration, as narrated in Ramayana. Uh, Now, many of us may agree, disagree, or agree to disagree about Ramayana, about religion. We are humbly saying that this program is not with an agenda of converting, diverting, or influencing anyone towards any religion. We are here just to discuss about some ancient characters in human history, those who have created an impact on the civilization. So, with that, let's build a context that Bhagavan Ram, when he came back from Lanka, and when he came to Ayodhya and met Kaikai, his stepmother, and the stepmother was crying furiously, like crying, and she was unstoppable. And Ram has said, Ma, what happened? I have came to meet you before my own mother. This is kind of respect I'm giving. Why you are crying? She says, I'm feeling so regretful that I have punished or made you punished through your own father to go in the forest, even by knowing that you are the Lord. Ram said, if people knew that I am a Lord and everything starts and ends with me, the Ramayana may have been of one line: a Lord born, and he has lived a life of legacy, a legend. No further sufferings may have involved because I am the Supreme Lord. I have gone through all this at my will and wish, and I have learned lessons in my life. Let me tell you one after another. And he has narrated it so beautifully to Kaikai that the first lesson I have learned in my life is love of my father towards me. The moment he has to take this decision, he has gone into a deep depression or kind of deep regret, and then he has short lived and he died in my absence. So that shows that how much attached he was with me. Yes, I can't able to come to his rescue even being a god. It shows that any human being, whomsoever has whatsoever power, has no control over death. Otherwise, my relatives may be still alive. Yeah, even Krishna's relative may be still alive, but it has never happened. Yeah, so the Lord also doesn't have a control on death. So these are the certain messages. Now, in between that, we have a wonderful panel over here. So Shefali, Dhwani, and Pinky. So I would like to introduce them briefly, and then we will take the story of Ramayan further, lessons of Lord Ram. So we have Shefali on screen, and I'll introduce her in a way that she been, or I am privileged to have her in my life as one of the mentors who has joined with me while I have started the Circle of Legends on 14th of February. So Shivalaji, without much details, I would like you to take your perspective about this Chaitra Mas and what you would like to explain to our viewers.
Well, first of all, good evening, everybody. And I must tell everyone that I'm also equally honored to be a part of Circles of Legend. And, knowing this thing, what we are doing is so beautiful. We're all uplifting each other, and knowing Darshanji is such a beautiful feeling. And of course, today I met Dhwani and Pinky. This is fantastic. About Navratri, I can tell you, we all learn from stories because I'm a storyteller. I'm going to talk about it. As a kid, I remember we all used to wait for the Navratri to come. And, 9 days was always special because it taught us something new. We were supposed to eat different kind of food. And, on the Ashtami, we all celebrated the girl child. That was beautiful. And we all thoroughly enjoyed it. We used to wait for it. to happen. And the simple food that we would eat was puri, chana, and halwa. That marked Ashtami for us. And Ram Navami, what I learned from Ram Navami was that, victory, victory over truth is a winner, and everything else does not really matter. I think this is the lesson that I learned as a child when we were growing up. And there are so many devis that are, we say the nine devis, but if you really ask me, we all women have a part of that devi in them. Something is a little more and something is little less, but the beauty is that we all have it in us. And the stories that we saw or we hear from Ramayana have been so special because they have taught you life lessons. It is not about religion, it is life lessons. And I think when he came back and when Kekai cried, the whole thing was she felt bad that she made him suffer. And at the same time, his part of the story was that he learned so much more while he was suffering, and he left a lesson and a legacy for everybody that it does not matter who you are, but we will all have to go through such things in our lives and we all emerge as winners. That is important.
Thank you, Sefali ji. So, the similarly, we will go with all the panel. Dhwani is from Karma Foundation. Vedant is a content creator, and Pinky is obviously, she's spearheading our HR operations for India Mexico initiative, uh, and which is a subset of the Circle of Legends. So the superset is Circle of Legends. Now, as a part of the story, let me take the story forward. So when Ram has said, I loved, I've seen love of my parents, my father especially. And then he has said that I have seen unconditional love from my spouse, because we just came newly married to the palace, and she has decided to leave all the comfort of palace and decided to come along with me. Is it possible these days, if somebody says that I'm going on site and I leave you behind for 10 years, will the wife agree? She will definitely ask for divorce. But here, here she has joined, and so, or else somebody says on site is a good thing. If somebody says that I'm going to Malaysia or Indonesia, Thailand, or Africa to do the labor work, will you join me? Obviously, no, I'll not join. I'm good at my parents' home. So, similar lesson if we learn from Sitaji. And the second lesson he said that I have learned from my brother Lakshman, who been with me, and his wife has decided to stay at the home. So, such kind of animated and dynamic personalities were there in my life. Those who have deeply impacted me, and this is all just because of you. There are so many more which we are going to discuss, but at the same time, I would like to bring in Dhwani, who heads Karma Foundation. And Dhwani, I would like to know from you about impact of karma, or what you see from your perspective in Ramayana, or lessons of Ram and impact of karma.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. And first of all, I would like to wish all of you a very happy Navratri. And like Shefali ji had beautifully said, that each one of us has a bit of God within us. We just need to realize that inner power. So I truly believe that we need to realize that inner power. As far as Ramayana is concerned, as a child, definitely there were different learnings, but as I've grown up, I realized one most important lesson for me is, there are times in our lives when we think we have lost everything, when things are getting out of our hands, when we feel helpless. That is the time when we can either break, or we decide to just face the circumstances as they are. And life of Sri Ram exactly depicts that. He was about to take the throne as a king when he was sent to the jungle for 14 long years in exile. So the circumstances are definitely not in our hand. What we can do is, whatever the circumstances are, We need to do our best in those very circumstances. That is one big lesson that I have learned. So whatever may be the conditions, we have to give our best. And after those 14 years, that could be 14 hours, 14 days, 14 months, 14 years, depending on our own life circumstances, we emerge out victorious. We come out stronger. We come out stronger as an individual. We learn so much. And that is the power of our karma, like you said, the power of our own thoughts, words, and actions. So we just need to keep doing things, doing the best things within our limited resources as per the conditions. That has been my life lesson from Ramayana.
Ramayana. Oh, great. And I still remember Shefali ji and me discussing one thing, that ASAP. And I really, think in this context, like Ram has not done ASAP. Yeah. When a condition came to him, he has not thought that, okay, let me react as soon as possible. So, Shefali, your view on ASAP, you uniquely explain it.
You know, the world talks about ASAP as soon as possible. And I think now I want to give it a little different twist to it. How about as slowly as possible? Hmm? You know, we have the power to change our story, we have the power to change our narrative. The problem is, we are not ready to do that. But the day you fine tune yourself, fine tune you have to do. When you fine tune yourself, you will realize that the power is actually within you. And you decide that whether you want to go in that speed mode, like rush like crazy without realizing what's your real direction, or you go slow. And I keep telling everybody, you know, lots of times I'm bombarded with things, and I tell them, hey, wait, I'm slow. I am slow. Go easy. I'm the tortoise. Who is going to win the race? But
Yes.
I'll take my time.
So,
So I think,
Shivali, this is the power of storyteller, that we change narrative, we change perspective. So the same way now Ramji is telling the story, his own life lessons. So then next he has said about Bharat, that Bharat being given a power, he has refrained from the power. He decided to worship me in my absence. Which kind of brother will do that? And he is your own son. You have carved this space, carved this throne for him, and he has decided to go against your wish and will. So imagine kind of sacrifice and kind of characters been chosen in Ramayan by Vedvyas, yeah? By sorry, uh, uh, okay. So the characters been chosen, and I think the Ramayana has been compiled in such a way that the existing characters, or even if we consider it as a pure work of an author, all these things which are being Valmiki ji, if I remember, yeah. So Valmiki Krit Ramayan, if we see that if he has selected the candidate, let's imagine for a while that the characters are animated characters and been selected with a lot of emotions. You can see they are how closely they are interwoven. Even it is not possible by the creator of Harry Potter or the great fiction books of these days. Yeah, it is hard to create a 3 hours movie out of a book, complete book of 500 pages. You can see the Ramayana, how many episodes been produced by Sri Ramananda Sagar. Yeah, while
Darshanji,
doing.
you know, na, that
Uh-huh.
Ramanand Sagar is my uncle.
Oh wow, so nice to have that privilege. Hmm.
I'm his niece.
Oh, so nice to know.
So it's a privilege being on the show and talking about Ramayan.
Ramayana.
I
Hmm.
must tell you that we as kids, we were pretty school going at those times.
Hmm.
And I remember I was not in India in that time, but I used to hear stories of everybody stopping and doing nothing. Even the women would say, you can either
Yes,
have breakfast before 10 o'clock or after the
after
Ramayana
the
is
clock.
done.
Uh-huh. I think these days generations may not have seen that craze of seeing either Ramayana on black and white TV or very costly color Eastman color TV. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
but people used to gather in crowd in a home where the TV is, and the person having a TV used to command the premium.
The person would have an headache because
Yeah. Yeah, another thing is the respect. Yeah, that yes, do this and do this for me. So means both trade-offs were there, but definitely that kind of narration. Like right now, even more than 8 episode of Netflix or Amazon Premium is difficult for author to produce. You can see so much of redundancy in that. Can you see the consistency Valmiki ji has brought? And if there is no living legend present from who you get inspired, how you can write a story like this? So this is in for my faith and benefit. I believe that it is not a story, but for those who thinks that it's a story, still respect the story and see the cross connections between it. So let's see about Lord Ram. He has
here I would
contributed.
like to add a little thing, Darshan ji.
Mhm.
मानो मानो तो पत्थर भी भगवान है, और
हाँ,
ना मानो तो भगवान भी पत्थर.
पत्थर है.
So
So
it's all about faith. It's all
correct.
about belief. It's all about your conviction that you believe in. You
Hmm.
know, there is no right, there is no wrong. It is all
Hmm.
time. I
Time.
always say this is time that makes anything right or anything wrong. There is nothing
Hmm.
as right or wrong in
Oh.
life. You know, we
Hmm.
are taught consistently there is right and there is wrong, but no, actually, it's the time frame.
Agree. So Vedant, with this, like the way you are creating the content, yeah. Now let's create. Come to a space where people write emotions of these days, yeah, and he writes literally the heart of youth, whatever is present, and he produces content which impacts lot many people in a present context. Vedant, from your side, our Ramayana and the lessons of Ramayana and the kind of content which you are creating, do you see any correlation which we can, or a co-connection we can build, Vedant?
Yes, Darshanji. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I am glad to be a part of this conversation. And yes, hi to Safali ji and Dhwani ji. So, yeah, talking about Ramayana and its impact in the now and how we can use those lessons in content creation or in the 21st century and for the youth like me in mid 20s. First, I will start with Vibhishana. I learned one very important thing from Vibhishana. And even I have penned down the things because I have learned so many things from Ramayana. So, yeah. So, for the very first thing I learned is right thing should be above blood. That is what I learned from Vibhishna, because after having so indulgence in different negativity, he was in Lanka. He was the brother of Ravan, and after that he continued to be a part of good thing. He left his clan and he joined the team of Ram. So that shows, and we can do the same thing in the now. If we see something is right or something is wrong, we should always choose the right and which will impact in the positive direction. So this is the first thing I learned from the one character, which is Vibhishna. And now talking about the second thing, I think Darshanji left. Yeah, he is here. Yes. I was saying something about Vibhishna.
No, I was in a backstage. Definitely, sometimes it is good to be in a backstage. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yes, now talking about let's relate this particular Vibhishna thing to the content creation and this in the present, choosing the right and wrong is totally in our hand. And the Vibhishna chose the right. Even after leaving his whole family, the whole his clan, he literally went against the Lanka and supported the Rama. So that thing I personally learned, and I very much support that it is very important to be in the positive side, be it whatever it takes.
Correct.
So
Uh,
yeah.
Vedant, can I interject over here? On a
Yes,
LinkedIn,
please.
I can see so many content creators and so many people. Those
Correct.
who sticks positive gets traction. Those
Hmm.
who try to divert, doesn't get traction. Yeah. You may have also observed, like
Yeah.
LinkedIn is not a place of contradiction. LinkedIn
Correct.
is a
Yeah.
place of, collaboration,
Unity, collaboration.
unity,
Correct.
collaboration. And when
Yeah.
you do that, you earn a respect. So similarly,
Yeah.
as you are saying that, Vibhishan has done the collaboration or the cooperation with
Yeah.
Ram.
Collaboration for the good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say, one additional thing also over here,
Hmm.
Vedant, is when it comes to, giving help and taking help. We can see a classic example once again from the life of Ram only. Bhagwan
Hmm.
Ram has given help to many, yeah, given
Yeah.
abundance to many, but he has not
Hmm.
even, refrained from taking help of Vibhishan, taking help from
Yeah.
Sugriv, taking help from the army of monkeys and bears, and
Hmm.
even squirrel, yeah, the smallest of
Yeah.
small ones. So it is not wrong to take help, and that is also our LinkedIn itself is teaches, but
Correct.
many of us do
Yes.
not want to learn that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
do you have any experience, because I observe your post, and many of those I have observed are perfectly in a positive sense only, no contradiction, nothing. So any view on that?
Yes. Yes, because I personally think that internet is full of conflicts, to be honest, and LinkedIn is a place, a very like in the crowd of 100, LinkedIn is that one place where there is amount of positivity is higher than the negativity. If you'll go on Twitter, Instagram, it's totally different. It's totally, the scene is totally different. But here, it's about the collaboration, and that is what I love, and that is what I also believe in, to be honest. Because if you let's take an example of Rama. People joined Ramji because of his goal, because of his positivity, because of his giving nature. The more you give, the more you get, and I thoroughly believe in that.
Mhm. Great. So, Vedant, now with that, let me bring Pinky also, because
Yes.
Pinky's connection is quite unstable, but definitely Pinky would like to take your benefit. We are attached with, say, last 100 days, and we have discussed, Pinky is a point blank. She tells the things to the point. Yeah. No filter, nothing. Similar things, I'll tell you from Ramayana also. Ram has also done the similar thing, or even so many times, even Bharat has done it. Let me tell you one incident that Hanumanji was going and carrying a mountain with Sanjeevani. Yeah, and Bharat has seen a huge giant carrying the mountain, and that at the same time he was aware that there is a war happening between Ram and Ravan. So he got worried, and point blank, dad, he has put a arrow on Hanuman, and Hanuman just fall down, and uh, he just dropped with say, "Hey Ram," and then Bharat regretted a lot. Yeah, so this is a one part of a story where point blank attitude, yeah, helps or misfires. So what's your view, Pinky? It's a bouncer, literally a bouncer, but your view.
So I think if I have to, talk in one word about Ramayana, what I can, what my takeaway is from, from Ram's life is that he was a leader, who was being followed by many. He was someone, who worked for the people, who followed the ethics. No matter what, even if it's his wife or maybe his own family, he was the one who did everything which was being asked to be done, which was as per law. If someone is convicted, then for him it was like it was the person was convicted. He, the way you said, he never filtered on anything. It was all about, about truth. So that's the reason I think, that his shoes were never filled. The way you said, that even when he was not there, Bharat used to keep his what is that particular chappal uh, in the king's seat, where normally Bharat was supposed to be seated. That is how, like, he was a man of principles. That is one factor I think every leader should have. If I put it in contrast with today's world, that is how, every leader, I mean, a person who is a leader should have these qualities. So, like, talking to the point, and doing what is ethical, and doing for the people, because a leader is the one, who shows the way, and then someone else's follows. So this is what I would like to put from my end.
Thank you, Pinky. So I think there are hundreds of more lessons can be learned. Like we have just 5 minutes remaining, and I think 30 minutes episode is more than enough. So and such as less time to cover the complete Ramayana, which has gone through almost 200, 300 episodes. We just have tried to take a pinch of salt and remind everyone that this is a day not just to send happy Ram Navami cards, but this is a day to remind to each other that yes, there are lessons of Ram needs to be learned. Remind to ourselves that yes, what I can learn from Ram's life, Ramji's life, and while we celebrate, while we greet each other, how we can nurture our culture in our next generation, how we can pass on the science which our ancestors have lived, the the genius, the knowledge base which has been produced, how it is not gone to garbage or not get dumped, because this dumping phenomena is happening in all the religion. Forget about Hinduism, Islam or Christianity. In a name of science and scientific inventions, the modern generation is forgetting what is called base
Yeah.
quality, and then we are putting the same base qualities in a different flavor called management thinking. But the management thinking is coming from the same base that do not have ego, respect each other, do not feel rejected or dejected, do not have an anxiety, go as slow as possible. There is enough time and space for everyone. At the same time, we can create urgent sense of urgency to achieve something for a shorter duration. We cannot be in a sense of urgency for the complete life. We can achieve a certificate, we can do something which Dhwani has done for just 2 months, give, help people, and live a life of legacy. So with this, I would like to conclude the episode, would like to give 1 minute to each of our speaker to conclude. So starting with Dhwani, how you can conclude this, how you can wish and greet people.
So, like you said, we have to imbibe the values that Ramayana, or for that matter, Mahabharata, or any of the scriptures, may they be Hindu scriptures, Muslim scriptures, of any religion, we need to imbibe those values within us and live by those values each and every day. These are important life lessons which will take us a long way. And keep doing good work, stay happy, stay positive. That would be my message. Thank you.
And how about you, Vedant?
Yes, sir. So, as today is Ram Navami, so I would like to congratulate to each and everyone. Happy Ram Navami. And one thing which I learned from Ram ji, and that is with me forever, that is coolness in adversity. So I would like to say that always maintain that calmness, that coolness in your head to win any war in your life. So yeah, that was from my end.
Thank you, Vedant. And let's go to Pinky, and then we have Shefali. Oh, Pinky has, uh, apparently got disconnected. So let's go to Shefali. Shefali, we are just wrapping this session. Let me set a context. We are giving 1 minute of feedback, so
Yes.
or 1 minute of
See
wrap up
what
from you.
what everybody said was very beautiful, and I was also learning from it. But for me, I think there is, if you really want to see, there is every little aspect you can learn from Ramayana, whether it is the love for the brother, whether it is humility on the part of Ram, and there is so much sacrifice, there is so much togetherness. But for me, I think one point really highlights, which is communication, conversation. Because without conversation and communication, nothing moves forward. So, everybody out there, according to me, please converse, please talk, whatever doubts you may have, talk to people about it. And this is the most important thing in current situation. That's something to learn from those times.
Great. I think we have tried to cover as many aspects as possible. Uh, if we can put one or two perspectives in our life for today and this week, I think this gradual increment or the as slow as possible approach will make us happy is Shafaliji indeed. Literally means, people create a lot of undue pressure for themselves just to achieve something in a short duration. And that pressure breaks the relationships, breaks the trust, create opacity or not transparency, being transparent, creates that kind of undue unhealthy competition in a corporate world. And I think that all can be avoided if we try to go slow as possible, and as cool as happy as possible. So I'll recommend uh, Shefali to each and every person, because I have considered her as my mentor, and whenever needed, I talk to her. So she's available. She is available on Facebook, all around. I think I have seen her so much active these days. Her past recordings can be referred, yeah, because these recordings which we do are eternal. The knowledge and wisdom is eternal. We can go through, and the best thing is the people are approachable. If we
Yes.
have Shiv Khera, or we go to what you can say Anthony Robbins, they're not approachable. Yeah, they are or for that's like Oprah Winfrey. Can you pick up a call and approach? No. Give me, if you need a help from Shefali Chopra, I'll take her phone number. With her permission, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll
Please do
connect you
that.
on WhatsApp.
I'm always happy to help. And of course,
Yes.
I have a YouTube channel called Storylines by Shefali Chopra. Please watch it if you feel like. There is no force. But there is always something to learn from people's
Yes.
stories. There's always something to learn.
Correct. And similar thing is with Vedant and Dhwani. Vedant, we have just recently started an association or affiliation where Vedant is going to be a content creator for us, for our
Lovely.
affiliate programs. Like all our partners are going to be benefited from Vedant. Obviously, it's a paid program, so Vedant, because this is his main business. So those who are interested can approach Vedant, and to Dhwani, I think people can approach to be part of Karma Foundation and clean their karma. So
Lovely.
with
So we
that,
can change
thank,
our narrative. We can change our narrative.
yes, we can change our narrative.
Thank
Agree.
you so much.
Thank you, Dhwani. Thank you, Vedant.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye
Happy
for
Ram
now.
Navami once
Happy
again.
Ram Navami.
Happy